Hey folks, welcome back to Canada's Boxing Channel. So coming up, actually pretty quickly, on March the 29th is an Oscar de la Hoya production in Cancun, Mexico, which features William Zepeda rematching Tevin Farmer. So it's Zepeda Farmer 2. This is a fight I'm actually looking forward to. I think it'll be a very good fight. It could be a very, very close fight. On the other hand, it might be one of those rematches where you're expecting it to be close, and it really isn't. It's sort of in two minds really as to where this could go. Anyways, we probably all remember that back on a Riyadh season card on November the 16th of last year, Zepeda fought Farmer for the first time, and Zepeda was favoured going into that fight. Now, Farmer was a former IBF champion at junior lightweight. He'd stepped up. And, of course, Zepeda is the WBC interim lightweight champion. No doubt looking to make it a full belt, right? A bit of a tale of the tape. Zepeda's a younger man. He's a Mexican. He's 28 years old. Farmer's 34, and he's an American. Zepeda's unbeaten, 32 fights, 32 wins, 27 by way of. Farmer, on the other hand, is now 33, 8 by way of, 7 losses and 1 draw. Well, the first fight was actually, I was surprised, put it that way. I thought that Zepeda would overwhelm Farmer, and I thought that Zepeda would probably stop Farmer. Well, I was very wrong. Farmer, I think the right word is he managed the fight better. Zepeda's a come-forward fighter, throws lots of punches, very, very aggressive, very good combination puncher, does a lot of good work. When he gets into rhythm, it's a joy to watch. He unleashes the whole arsenal of his offensive weaponry. And Farmer did everything right. Farmer worked behind a jab. Farmer slowed the fight down. He managed. That's the best word, I think. He managed Zepeda. So he got Zepeda to fight the fight that Farmer was more comfortable fighting. Like I said, Farmer's the older man. Farmer's more experienced man. And those things showed. I thought of it as a fight of two halves, to be honest with you. I thought the first half of the fight was Farmer's fight. And he actually dropped Zepeda with a beautiful, they're both southpaws, so it was a beautiful left-hand cross. Left-right, yeah, that's just trying to figure out. It was a beautiful cross, and it dropped Zepeda, and it was pretty certain it was in the 4th round. I wish I'd looked this up. Anyhow, he dropped Zepeda in the 4th round. Zepeda wasn't really, hurt. Well, of course he was hurt enough to be dropped, but it made Zepeda very cognizant of the fact that Farmer definitely had something coming back, right? By about the second half of the fight, I thought Zepeda sort of found his rhythm. He went through the gears and found a spot where he was, turning the fight around. And Farmer did have still had something left. And, there was a lot of guts and resilience in the kind of, standing and fighting that makes it, really exciting towards the end of that fight. And it was a 10-round fight. I had the sense that if it had gone another couple of rounds, I think Zepeda might have, sort of not exactly pulled away, but that the ebb and flow of the fight had been such that I think Zepeda might have done better if there had been a few more rounds left to play. But it was a very razor-thin decision, a split decision, that was awarded to Zepeda. And the judges' scorecards were 95-94, 94-95, 94-95. So, like literally a point in it, right? And I think it was the right decision. I'm sure that there are people who say that, oh, well, it could have gone the other way. Well, yes, it could have gone the other way whenever it's that close. But I don't think anybody, who really watches that fight objectively could say that the wrong man got the decision. So the question is, in the rematch, which is coming up, not this coming Saturday, but the following Saturday, are we going to see more of the same? Well, of course, a lot depends, right? Like Wardley Clark. Wardley Clark, the first fight was an absolute just battle back and forth. The rematch, boom, Wardley closes it down. Highlight reel knockout. I don't think we're going to see that, but I think Zepeda now knows what Farmer's all about. And I think that if Zepeda can fight the fight that he wants to fight, sort of fight the second half of the fight, rather than allow Farmer to control him at the early part of the fight, I think Zepeda may prevail. In fact, I would expect Zepeda to prevail. The other thing is, this is actually a 12-round fight. So it might well be the case that the 6-year age difference may well play a difference. I'm not going to say that Farmer was on his chin strap at the end of the first fight, but those 2 extra rounds, they do count, right? I would expect Zepeda to come out aggressive, not let Farmer sort of dictate the speed of the fight, and I would expect Zepeda to sort of really bring it to Farmer. Of course, Farmer's a very cagey fighter, very, very slick fighter, very, very capable fighter, and in fact, I think you could probably argue, and people wouldn't get too upset with you if you said this, that Farmer might well be the technically better boxer, whereas Zepeda's the more offensively blessed. I think those are the terms I was thinking of. So I'm leaning towards Zepeda. I'm unsure as to whether this would be a stoppage or points. I think if anything, I would say points. But I would say that we would see a more comfortable Zepeda win if he's gone away and he's re-strategized and learned from the 10 rounds that he had with Farmer. I think there's more room for improvement with Zepeda than there is for Farmer. Farmer's got to just do the same thing, whereas Zepeda can now go, okay, I know, I'm onto you now. I know what you were all about. I'm not going to let you do that. And I'm going to show my offensive skills earlier throughout the fight. And that's how I'm going to prevail. So that's how I see it. Could well be wrong. I mean, anybody who's followed my betting picks knows that I'm probably, not the person to rely upon. I mean, certainly I wouldn't say put your rent money on it, but it's going to be a good fight. I'm looking forward to it. Of the upcoming fights, it's one of those which I'm definitely going to make sure that I'm sitting down comfortably and, eyes on the screen, no distractions. And apparently it's free on our DAZN subscription as part of the subscription, if you subscribe, which, I do, but, Anyhow, my dogs are barking, which is an indication that my better half is coming home from work, so I should get off this video. So, please like, please share, please subscribe. Have a fabulous day. Thank you.